when you're line 3 in human design, there's a little bit of that I feel gets misrepresented. And I want to talk about that because you're often told that, oh, it's all about trial and error. You're going to bump into things all the time. And, you're going to feel like things don't always work your way. And I don't personally like the word trial and error. I don't like that concept because that reminds me of failing forward and a whole bunch of other things that are used to help us shift our thinking from failure. And I've always thought about it differently, that it was never about succeeding or failing. I feel like that's so limited. And so I'm going to talk to you about my philosophy on it. And mine is all about you experiment to experience, you explore to discover. And so I'm going to take you through an experiential thing that I'm doing. Hi, my name is Trisha Edwards, and I am technically a 6-2 generator with emotional authority, but I want to show you my design. So let me show you here. This is me, and you'll see over here in my profile that I am a 6-2, right? And the reason how you can tell that is because the number after the dot, that's the line number. So 6, this is the personality or the conscious side. And my 2 is over here in the design or the unconscious side. But if I go into all of my line activations, so the gates are the number before the point, the lines are the numbers after the point, and you'll see each one of these has a gate and a line. So like a gate 5 could be 5.1, 5.2. There's 6 lines total. So 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, 5.4, 5.6. And it gives a different quality to what that gate means. But one of the things you could go through and do is add up all of these lines. How many do you have of each one? And I have it right here. I use Maya Mechanics. And so it tells me right here is that I have more 3-line activations than any other line. I resonate so deeply with the 3rd line. When I discovered that, I was like, yes, I sense this so much within me. So I'm going to share, and it's something that I am doing right now, and it's how I think about the 3 line. The 3 line is here to experiment, not to trial and error, not to fail forward, not to bump into things. It's here to experience things. It's all about experiential learning, which is something that I used to do as an educator. I'm very familiar with that way of teaching and learning. It's how most of us learn best. And because it's not just acquiring information, it's playing with it. So it could be applying it, it could be evaluating it, it could be actually creating with it. And that, is the ultimate. So there's this thing in education that we would use called Bloom's taxonomy, and knowledge and remembering is just at the very bottom of it. It's the entry level. It's foundational. It's important. But when you get to the very top of the pyramid, it's create. When you create with it, that's when it shows your understanding is so phenomenal. So, all right. I want to tell you about something I'm doing right now with all of my line 3 activation energy. And so it is the beginning of quarter 2, and I notice that my quarter 2 has been at 0. Now my mind is playing tricks on me because that's what my mind does, because I also know I have projects that are about to start, and they're lined up, and they have money that's coming with it, but that money I haven't logged it because I haven't received it. I mean, a lot of things can happen. Sometimes things can fall apart, not go exactly the way that you had thought. New things can come along just as equally. Like, we can't predict the future, right? All I can do is live in the now. And when I look at my now is a big fat 0 for quarter 2. And when I first started really noticing this, and I don't know why there's hearts there, but there's hearts. You're welcome. This is live. It's all one take. I don't like to do multiple takes or edits. This is just me in real life. So there you go. So I've been looking at this 0 for a few days, and I've been realizing how much it's like stinging and how it's getting me to think, ugh, and I know that intellectually I know the other things, but what I'm experiencing within my body and the way that my body is expressing it outwardly, that is real. So one of the things that I often tell the people that I work with, it doesn't matter whether you can logically explain it or you can reframe it and see it in a different way. When that thing, that emotion, that sensation is in your body, it is real. It's real to your body. And if you try to just reframe the thought and what's in your body doesn't change, you're not going to get anywhere. I've done that before. That's why things that all only rely on mindset only, reframing a thought, flipping your script, just never really worked for me. And then there's some processes that will have you bring in some emotion stuff, but I spent so much time being detached from my body, and I still am not fully able to express what's happening in my body in a emotional, intelligent way that maybe somebody else can. And hey, I'm a generator. And one of the things about a generator is our motors are not connected to our communication, our throat. And that is me. Yep, that's me. So, yeah. I am an emotional authority. I have my solar plex defined. My solar plexus is defined, and it's not connected to my communication center. So there you go. I struggle with that. But anytime I can do body first, and I think anybody who has an emotional authority, body first, so much easier. So that's what I'm here to share with you. So here's my big experiment. And I'm sharing this. I have something new that I just launched. It's free if you're interested. It's a place to witness and maybe find what resonates within yourself. So it's not really a program that's teaching, but it's not just stories about me. It is and it isn't. It's expression. It's a couple of things. I find that when I'm around people that they're just being themselves, something lights up in me. And I like who I am when I'm in their presence. And so that's kind of what this is sort of built on. You get to come in and you can witness it, experience it in any way that you want to. And maybe it lights you up, maybe it doesn't. So that's all about you. I'm all about self-leadership, self-selecting, self-directing yourself, just being you. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks, but you're welcome to come. I'll put a link here for it. It's free, like I said, and I add something. I think I'm going to be adding something every single day. Don't hold me to that, but I think that's what I'm going to be doing. So this is something I'm documenting, and I'm sharing it there with them, along with some extra resources. So I've been doing. I'm looking at that quarter two, big fat zero. It doesn't matter that in quarter one, I doubled my profit from last year. You would think I'd be like, yeah, look at me. I'm doing so well. Woo, woo, right? No, I'm thinking about that zero. And that zero is just sticking in my mind. So what I'm doing is I have a little experiment that I'm doing. I'm just seeing how it is, because I am very much into somatic exercises. I call them energy resets because that's what I feel like. I feel like my energy just reset. Like it's like a switch that just went off and it's changed my direction. Sometimes it's going from a fear or fight or flight, if you're, a freeze state or an avoidant state. And, whether that's frustration or I just want to disappear and bring me to a more balanced state. But it does more than that when you start working on these over time. They can do more. It'll not only take you to the balanced state, but you can just naturally get there faster. It'll be like second nature. You're training, or some people call it toning your vagal nerve. So whatever way you want to look at it, that's up to you. But here's what I'm doing. So I don't want to look at that zero and have all of that realness in my body that I'm experiencing. I want to change that. And because in my mind, I can easily wrap around how I want to see this, how I want to experience it. But now I need to train my body. So I'm going from a body first. I'm not telling my body to do something. I'm actually communicating through my body. And I often think that the body is the shortcut to your unconscious, where your limited beliefs, a lot of your automaticity, the things that run the majority of your day. So here's what I'm doing. And this is just my experiment. You can come and you can follow along, and I'm going to be sharing some things. So first thing that I do is I awaken my body. And I have this engaged body scan that I do where I scan head to toe, but I'm moving my body at the same time and talking about it, waking it up, so to speak. And then I look at that zero. I have a spreadsheet where I have quarter two and quarter one and 2024 and 2025 on it. Now I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at that zero from quarter two. And then I'm documenting what I'm noticing, and I'm using a framework called BASE that I had already been doing this, but this put words and it articulated it so wonderfully. So when I first read about this, I was like, yes, this is exactly what I've been doing, but it gives a little bit neater framework. So BASE is, what is your breath doing? How is it moving through you? Let's see. A is for actions. Like if you were about to go into action, or do you not want to go into action? What are that sense of movement is? S is for sensations. What sensations do you notice in your body? And for the action, I want to point out that a lot of times I talk about posture in that, because that body positioning is one of the things that I use in my process, body-led expression. So I kind of talk about what actions I might be thinking that my body wants to move into, which does relate to posture, right? Body positioning. Then the E on the end is what kind of emotions. So that's the base. So I awaken my body, I look at that number, and then I make a note. And what I do is I talk to text while I'm doing this, so it all gets transcribed for me, and then I plug it into chat and I say, can you sort this out and make it neat and pretty so that I have some results from it? And then I do what I call is like a somatic scramble, or it could be like a switch or something. It's something where it kind of almost confuses your thinking, and it helps you move ahead. And these are like bilateral kind of movements. My son used to do these. My son had a lot of balance issues and some other things. When he was little, he's been in therapy since he's been in one. And these were things that we did in therapy too. So the more that I've been learning about them, now he's 13, how I'm changing things. And now we got a thumbs up. This thing is just giving all kinds of emojis here. I think I may have a new setting I have to go through and adjust. So I've been doing either there's this butterfly tapping where you tap and have to look the other way, or there's whole thing of moving your thumb and how you follow it. Yep, there's the thumbs up. And there's a protocol to doing those, but they kind of scramble your thoughts. And then I go back and I look at it, and then I record my base once again. And then I go look at my quarter one, because that's something I should be so proud of, right? But when I'm looking at quarter two, it seems to be completely irrelevant. And so I go and I look at quarter one and I do the same thing, and then I do my base. And that is what I'm doing. I'm on day 2. At the time that I'm filming this video, it is April 11th, 2025. And so if you want to follow along, come join the Inner Studio. Like I said, it's free, and I'm going to be sharing it. I'm sure I'll give some kind of update, but if you really want to go through and see what's happening, because I'm sharing not only the somatic exercises, I'm also sharing raw personal information that you can see right there. And and I don't know how it's going to happen. This is the line 3 in me. I'm not looking for a result. I'm not predicting a hypothesis. I'm not trying to say what the outcome is. I'm not living by results. I'm living through experience. And that is the line 3 magic. It's not the trial and error, because that assumes there's a result. It is not failing forward, because that assumes there's not a good result at the end, right? It's not bumping into things, because bumping means that there's something wrong. This is just experiment to experience. You think about it. You have the start point, you have the result. The majority of your time being in this thing is in the experience part in between. That's the part that helps you to come alive as a line 3. Or if you're like me, a 6-2 with a lot of line 3 activations. So this is my invitation to you to figure out your own ways that you can experiment to experience. It's not about a result. It's not about a hypothesis. It's not about what you get out. You are going to get something though. And it's going to become more meaningful, and you're going to be more open to other things that it can be because you didn't set a whole lot of expectations. Maybe no expectations. The only expectation I have is I'm going to enjoy this. And I know I will because I've done a bunch of these. And I know I'm going to come away with something. I just don't know what that something is. I'm going to do it for 5 days. And then at the end of 5 days, I'm going to decide, do I want to do this for a little bit longer to just get some information? Because this is not a lifelong tracking thing. I'm against tracking. But I'm documenting in the moment as I go along for 5 days. At the end of 5 days, I'm going to decide, do I want to do a full 2 weeks of this? Or is this enough to give me something that I got? And I'm a generator. I'm going to wait to see what comes to me through this. And is there something there for me to respond? I'm going to tune into my emotional authority. And am I in the wave? Am I balanced? Is it a yes or a no? And if it's a yes, then maybe I'll continue. And if it's a no, maybe it's just a no, not right now. May not be a never. It's just not a no right now. Maybe there's something to go back to. Maybe I just need a break. And so, all right, more to come, I guess.